Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. And today's video we'll be taking a look at the Master League meta. Okay, did I destroy the mic? Okay, sorry for the intro. Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. And today's video we'll be talking about or taking a look at the top teams in the Master League, and also we will be taking a look at all the Master League Pokemons. My name is Yasser Alid. I'm a Twitch streamer. I stream on that website you see here on twitch.tv/Yasser Alid. So Master League is known for being like one of the most consistent metas. Master League and Ultra League. Well, technically Ultra League has been shifted a bit with Tapu Fini and Golisopod, and now Cresselia is low-key back to the meta. So I divide the Pokemon as always: lead, safe swaps, generalists. Leads are Pokemon that tend to have like some decent fast move pressure with a good baiting charge move. A perfect example for that is Dragonite. Also Palkia is one of those. Okay, I think the music is slightly okay. I think this is better. So yeah, a perfect example for the lead is, as an example, Dragonite, a Pokemon that had decent fast move pressure and has Dragon Claw, which is a baiting move. Groudon has a decent coverage where you have Fire Punch and you have Spice Blade, and they have it in the lead, not in the generalist, because Groudon can easily get walled by the flyers. If they have a flyer, it's GG. So it's preferable to lead it or to hide it in the back. It's not a good safe swap. It's not a general. I don't consider it a generalist because it just easy get walled by flyers. Ho-Oh is probably the perfect lead example where like you have decent fast move pressure and you have like a huge nuking power, with Brave Bird being one of the strongest charge moves in the game and Sacred Fire being one of the best charge moves in the game, where it has the potential to debuff the opponent, which means if you are in a neutral lead, you're gonna win just because you're gonna debuff them. It's a 50% chance, but most of the time you get it. Once you get it, you're gonna debuff their moves and their fast move, their damage, and then you're gonna maintain winning that lead, and then you can have a better alignment for your backline. Solgaleo is also an example for the Pokemon that can debuff you and win the lead or the shield scenarios by just outliving you, since they have Psychic Fang, which is a Poison Fang clone, the old Poison Fang clone, where like they keep debuffing your defense to the point where you will take lots of damage from bad fast moves. Rayquaza is another example of a good lead. It's basically now a different version of Dragonite, slightly better. Dragonite is better against the steel. Rayquaza is better against everything else, because Dragonite has superpower, while Rayquaza has Dragon Ascent, which is a flying charge move that does 95% of Zacian's health. Basically, if you land it, you can actually Dragon Tail on the 2 shield. A safe swap. Safe swaps are Pokemons that generally do not get walled, or generally like they have decent bulk plus good coverage. As the perfect example for the safe swap in the Ultra League, in the Master League, is Giratina Origin, where you charge moves hits everything except Yveltal and Zarude, but those two do not exist that much, to be honest. Excadrill is a Pokemon that can literally hit everything in the Master League, including Kyogre. There is nothing that can wall Excadrill. What about Virizion? Nobody uses Virizion in the Master League. Please, chat. Heatran got some love from Niantic. They gave it Magma Storm, which is a Surf clone, and giving a Surf clone to a Legendary is usually like doesn't mean it's usually like a huge buff, because Legendaries usually do not have cheap charge moves. They don't. Rayquaza is exceptional because it's a fan favorite Pokemon and they can milk people to raid this Pokemon as much as they can. Kyurem is a decent safe swap because this Pokemon has a Glacial or something. It's an Icy Wind clone where like, you can just keep debuffing to the opponent. As an example, a perfect example, you can win the 2 against Zacian as a Kyurem just by going straight to Glacial, because you're gonna keep debuffing them to the point where like their charge move won't do that much. Landorus, the other form, is a good example of the safe swap, because the one with legs has superpower, which means you need to swap out to clear the debuff. Where like this one doesn't have superpower, you can just throw either Rock Slide or Earth Power, and you can maintain. You can stay like you can do like some neutral damage plus all or super effective damage in most of the games. I might actually give it a try. I think I don't have enough XLs. That's the problem. The other form is better, but the other form has bad stab charge moves. Basically doesn't have bad stab charge moves. You charge moves out like Stone Edge and Superpower, and both are non-stab. Reshiram and Zekrom get some love from Niantic, and they gave them their signature moves. They are sized like Fusion Flare and Fusion Bolt. Both of them are like Size Strike clones. They are decent charge moves, but the problem is both of them are like just a bad version of Dialga. A worst version of Dialga, because Dialga just does everything better. Like, why would you need Reshiram over Dialga? Reshiram is good in one thing, taking neutral damage from Zacian, but now people don't use Zacian as much, and there is a better form of Zacian called Xerneas. Xerneas has the move that make everyone blind. What's that? Geomancy. Geomancy basically like a stab, very fast move, which Zacian doesn't have. It has good coverage, you can run Thunderbolt, but probably you're just gonna end up running Moonblast plus Stone Edge. And Xerneas has more bulk than Zacian, which is making it more like a favorable pick over the Zacian. Well, to be fair, I still prefer the Zacian, but most people who tried Xerneas, which I didn't try yet because I don't have one, even though I have 300 XL candy. I rated this Pokemon as much as I could. I wasn't blessed enough to get a hundo or a 98 or even a 96. I couldn't get like better than 14, 15, 15, and I don't power up 14 attack because basically it's just gonna lose CMP to everything. Giratina Altered used to be like the best safe swap in the entire game, but the problem with Giratina now, it's just like slightly underwhelming because everything else does so much damage and Giratina just doesn't do that much damage. As an example, why Giratina isn't as good, like Giratina versus Groudon is supposed to be a neutral matchup. You know what? And look, Giratina against Groudon, Groudon wins that matchup by having like 40% health, and that's bad because that means Groudon will put Surprise Blade your next Pokemon. That's horrible, actually. So that's the reason why people stopped using this Pokemon. Zygarde, according to PvPoke, if we look there, it's actually number 1. It's like a much better version of Garchomp. The problem with this Pokemon is that we only have one Zygarde, and it's gonna take like 6 years to build one, so nobody has it. There might be someone somewhere has it using some cheat engines or something, but I don't have it. And I'm not gonna have it because the Zygarde I got is like 10, 11, 10 or something. The second best Pokemon according to PvPoke is Groudon. Groudon kills everything that doesn't fly. What about Kyogre? Groudon can beat Kyogre like with Energy Lead as long as you have shields. Giratina Altered, and as long as they shield your bait. Giratina Altered is still a dominant Pokemon on PvPoke, but not as dominant on the battle because it loses to the Fairies pretty hard, it loses to Groudon pretty hard, and it struggles to beat some other stuff. Dragonite Shadow is good on PvPoke. Dragonite non-Shadow is decent. Again, Dragonite is good because it doesn't get walled. It hits everything except the Fairies. Xerneas is better than Zacian. I don't see a Dialga here. What is Dialga? Am I running a spicy Pokemon? What is a Dialga? Dialga is number 22. What a spicy Pokemon. What a spicy nice Pokemon. I'm running Spice. I didn't know that. People call me a meta slave. See guys, I run spicy Pokemon. Next time I'm making a video about Dialga, I'm gonna call it I run a spicy Pokemon, and it's rank 22 on PvPoke. And Mewtwo, is Mewtwo on the list? I didn't see. Okay, it's number 11. I will actually try to make more content about the Mewtwo because I feel like I made lots of content about Lugia. I made lots of content about Ho-Oh, but I didn't give Mewtwo that much love recently. And it was fun because I was able to beat someone with a Mewtwo that RPS'd me the week before. So I'm gonna run a Mewtwo in case I ran to the same person. Something here to mention, Kyogre is a good Pokemon. The problem with Kyogre is that Groudon does everything much better. That's the problem with Kyogre. The only thing that Kyogre does better is beating Groudon. That's it. Some anti-meta Pokemons you could use. Okay, yes, it's Xerneas. I think the only Pokemon here that's worth mentioning is Metagross. Metagross being the ultimate nightmare to the fairies because it destroys Zacian and Xerneas. You can literally farm them down all the way from full HP. If Zacian has quick attack, you can farm it all the way down. If it has a Snarl, you need to shield. Meloetta, which is a crazy good Pokemon if you have a 15 attack, which I don't have, so I'm not going to talk about that. Mamoswine isn't bad either. Buzzwole is actually fine, is nice, above average. Maybe they should bring it back so I actually have a Hundo Buzzwole, but I don't have the XLs. Maybe if they bring it back, I will rate it more. This Pokemon here gets some buffs. The problem with this Pokemon was, and still, lacking a good fast move. So they gave it like High Horsepower. They gave it Ice Punch. Still not enough. They need to give it a good fast move. It's literally the only Pokemon where like the second evolution has much better fast moves. Like the second evolution has Shadow Claw and Counter, and this one doesn't have either. That's like such a shame, to be honest. This dog here is just like a poor man's Zacian, with the difference that it's not a poor man. You have to spend the same amount of money to get this one as a Hundo. Togekiss get access to a fighting move, but the problem with Togekiss is that like the other legendary fairies like Xerneas and Zacian just do everything better. So we talked about the Pokemons, okay? It's been like 11.5 minutes. Let's talk about the top teams. If you go to PvPoke and you try to build a team, the best team on PvPoke is actually Zygarde, Xerneas, and Kyogre. Why Kyogre? Kyogre actually provided decent coverage to those two. Zygarde being a dragon, so you need an anti-dragon. And anti, what beats a dragon, lose to Kyogre. Everything that just always think about that. Everything that beats the dragons, lose to Kyogre. So this is the best team according to PvPoke, but now I'm going to talk about different teams I made in the past Master League, and the team from my favorite team from last Master League rotation. I called it the hardest hitting team in the entire game, not in all the leagues. This is the hardest hitting team, as long as we don't count legendaries. I mean, if we count legendaries, you can just add Mega Groudon and you have literally the hardest hitting team. Why? Probably not the most attack weighted Pokemon, but it has one of the hardest hitting charge moves in the game, one of the best charge moves in the game, which is Brave Bird, and has one of the best fast moves in the game, which is Incinerate, which is just a longer duration Shadow Claw, which is probably my favorite fast moves among everything. Sacred Fire is a decent move that gives it a decent neutral, like make it flip all the neutral matchups. Ho-Oh is decent enough to win all the neutral matchup. There is no neutral matchup that Ho-Oh lose. Probably you struggle sometimes against Mewtwo if you don't get the debuff, but against everything else, like the Giratina matchup isn't even bad. Dialga is just that the glue that stick every team together and make every team playable. If you have a Dialga, you can run anything, and I will be talking about the anything team that someone used to hit legend very early in the season last time. Another team that I used in the past, which is the ABA Psychic with Dialga, or Dialga, Lugia, Kyogre. I have two different teams. One of them I actually hit 3400 and the Master League. Climbing to 3400 MMR with this Open Master League team. That's the video about Dialga, Lugia, Mewtwo, and Dialga, Lugia, Kyogre. I hit 3100 MMR with these solid Master League teams. So the one that says teams, I actually tried both of them in the same video. The one that say 3400 is no Kyogre, because anytime I'm above 3200, Kyogre just doesn't work as intended, because people just run dragons and Zacians with wild charge, so it's tough to use Kyogre. According to Go Battle Log, which is a website I made a video of like last week, make sure to check that video. It's actually it has one of the best tools in the among all the websites. I think the top performing team according to the people that reported the teams that they faced, the best team was Groudon, Dialga, Lugia, which is actually understandable. Lugia just covers Groudon. Lugia beats everything that Groudon doesn't beat, and Dialga is just there because it's the best Pokemon. against the condensed meta. Like it's tough to play Master League without a Dialga. A team that worth mentioning, I call it the nicest version. It's a Mewtwo Double Dragon. It's basically Mewtwo with Dialga and any dragon. The other dragon could be Reshiram, could be Palkia, could be Zekrom, could be Giratina, any dragon. And it's an ABB team. But there is a team that was rising last season, not rising to the occasion. No, it's like that was like literally very, very, very popular at high MMR, which is Rayquaza, Heatran, and Solgaleo. Solgaleo being like a sus Pokemon to use, because those people has most likely they just walked marathons. And Heatran being like this is like some sort of an ABB team. You're weak to Dialga, you destroy Dialga in the back. You're weak to Zacian in the lead, you destroy Zacian in the back. So you use Heatran to bait out the Kyogre or the Groudon, so Solgaleo can sweep, or the other way around. Or the other way, you can like safe swap Solgaleo, and then your other steel will sweep, and Rayquaza is there just to maintain the alignment. This is something Rayquaza is being great at, which is maintaining the alignment, due to the fact that it has breaking swipe, which will debuff your opponent to the oblivion. Every time you throw it, you will debuff them basically. There is a different form of this, the Home Slice Henry, because Home Slice Henry kept losing to this team here, and he said, I refuse to play this team. until he took his words back and he tried to make a different team that doesn't look like this. They are literally the same, Henry, okay? Like, you change dog into like some robot looking dog. Like, look at this. Isn't Kyurem like if you ask a robotics engineer to make you like a robot, like look like a dog, they will literally build a Kyurem. So yeah, Henry made a good team, and actually the team was very popular. My best. Okay, every time he says my best, like I feel like he releases a new video, he says my best every week. Much love, Henry, much love, big fan. My best. My best Master League team gained 150 plus elo in only 3 sets. Damn, that means he was like 4-1, 4-1, 3-2, right? Yeah, I recommend watching if you do want to run Rayquaza Heatran. This is like probably the superior version. I do trust Henry teams. Henry teams are like low-key good. Kyurem, he's just like a Kyurem enjoyer. This is like an ABA dragon. Kyurem and Rayquaza both can have some sort of a play against the Dialga, where like you don't win it, but you can bring Dialga very low on health. That's the thing. Zacian lead, you just go Kyurem and you just play the 2, you flip it, and then you have you have Heatran against their own Dialga. And speaking of Dialga plus 2, which means Dialga plus 2 bad Pokemons, or like any other 2 Pokemons, Matbeer last season hit Legend very early in the season, literally like the week Master League started, which means like the 3rd week. And his team was basically Mamoswine, Dialga, Dragonite. And he hit it when Zacian was extremely popular. That was before Xerneas. And the team is supposed to be triple weak to Zacian, right? And he won every single game against Zacian. If you wonder how, you can go and check this video on my channel. Matbeer87 hit Legend in the Master League with budget team, Pokemon Go PvP. Go check out this video. He literally outplayed every Zacian player. A team that's worth mentioning, basically, like if you don't have a Dialga, probably Lugia is the best replacement to Dialga. Why? It's just the Pokemon that does well against everything, plus Groudon and Kyogre. A team that's worth mentioning that was popularized once by Housetark, it's Ho-Oh Double Dragon. It's a different version of a Mewtwo Double Dragon. The thing about a Mewtwo Double Dragon is that people in level 50 can no-shield Side Strike, because Side Strike doesn't do that much in level 50 Masters, but it used to do much more in level 40 Masters. But Ho-Oh does everything better. Old but Gold, I saw this team a lot last season because of the rise to Rayquaza plus Heatran, where like Kyogre just destroys the Heatran. Togekiss destroys the Rayquaza. So yeah, I tried to not stall too much, not talk too much, but yeah, we ended up with 20 minutes. I think we shortened the average. I used to be like these videos used to be around like 23 minutes. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching, especially those people who made it this far. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like, make the channel, make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Peace.